Hello, my name is John Rose. This is my little girl Sienna. The sun keeps coming in and out. If the sun comes out, I may have to put her behind the camera in the shade. Otherwise, I think she'll be okay right here. Got a question for some of you guys. If you're using every pill on the shelf to solve your sinus problems, or if you're using every pill on the shelf to solve any problem, you're using the wrong approach. You'll never find a solution there. There aren't any solutions for sinus problems on the shelves of any store or in the pharmacy of any drugstore from any prescription you get from any doctor. So if you've had a dozen polyps removed the last decade, or a couple dozen removed in the last couple decades, and I know there's a lot of you guys out there with chronic rhinitis, and that's what you keep getting. If you're tired of dealing with that, you want to take responsibility, find out why you got them, you can stop creating them and you can keep them from happening. You can reverse them, you can get rid of them. It's really a very simple solution. But you really need to understand the disease process. So I might mention, you notice I do have a few mangoes listed off to the side. This is not necessarily a what I ate in a day video, because this is pretty much what I've been eating all week. Bought a ton of these earlier in the week. And this video is mainly to help people with sinus problems. Nasal polyps. Rhinitis, sinusitis. Anytime you see that word itis, it's the beginning of the disease process. The polyps is at the end of the process. 4 main long-term stages of disease. I explained that in more detail in several of my videos. Healing Secrets Revealed and Medicine is the Ultimate Tool of Control. In both those videos I explain those 4 processes as well as 2 short-term stages of disease. It doesn't start off with a polyp. It usually starts off when our lymph system backs up. The other part of our sewage system, our colon, develops a leaky gut and pollutes the blood. In any shape or form, the organs are getting damaged. And here we are blaming the organs and cutting the organs out. If there's any organ we should cut out, it should be our taste buds. That's wanting to put in the wrong food. Maybe the brain too, for being conditioned to eat the wrong food. Well, in those videos, I explained very simply that our body is nothing but a bunch of cells and 2 fluids. One fluid is the blood. It brings in the food. It feeds the cells. It's the kitchen. The other fluid is the bathroom. It's the lymph system. It cleans and protects the cells. Our cells are bathed in this interstitial fluid. And when we pollute our blood and we damage the kidneys, the lymph system doesn't get filtered. It backs up, and here comes the sun, and here she goes. It backs up, and when it backs up into the membranes that it surrounds. And in the body's wisdom, it knows to go, the first place is the nose and sinus area. That's why we have so many nose and sinus eruptions. It's because the lymph system is backing up. It goes above a toleration point. And when it does so, in its wisdom, it goes to organs that can exit the body. The nose and sinuses, colds and flus, sinusitis, rhinitis, and eventually polyps. It's all because mainly our own waste matter. Now, the lymph system is the sewage system of all of our cells, so cells are dying. There's other garbage in there that gets dumped in there. But the problem is it doesn't get filtered. It backs up into the body, and when it goes back into the nose and sinus areas, our foolish doctors want to blame it on some sort of germ or bacteria. That's not the cause. It's a consequence. Those guys are a part of the cleanup crew. If we make a mess, they'll come along and help us clean it up. But it's our own waste matter that's backing up. So there's a very simple way to prevent nasal polyps. There's a very simple way to reverse them if you have them. There's a simple way to get rid of rhinitis or any other itis. It's a systemic problem. There are no separate body parts. If any organ is stressed or damaged, the whole body is pretty much stressed and damaged. It's systemic. There's a oneness to disease. And mainly it's coming from our lymph system, our sewage system, and the other sewage system, our colon. I briefly mentioned a leaky gut syndrome in my video yesterday because they just published an article talking about the gut bacteria changing with excessive exercise or strenuous exercise or too much exercise. Again, the doctors are always quick to blame the bacteria, the gut bacteria, the bad bacteria, or they're quick to blame exercise instead of blaming the lymph system because they don't know the lymph system. Now, I don't know if my dog needs to go do something or what. I'm just going to put her down and let her take off and hang on to the leash. Let you go, baby. Yep, she does have to go. I don't know if you guys are catching that or not, but I don't think so. Anyway, the disease process is not complicated once you understand our body does it about a bunch of cells and these two fluids. And they don't teach the lymph system to our doctors. That's the problem. That's why disease is a mystery to doctors. They also don't teach, come here baby, they also don't teach nutritionists the elimination system. They don't understand bowel transit time of our food, otherwise they wouldn't say it's okay to eat food that takes too long to go through the food tube. Come here baby, you're going to get all wrapped up. Come on, come back over here now that you did your thing. Let me grab her real quick. She had to go do something real quick. That's why she took off. The heat was one thing, but I might be able to calm her down. How you doing now? Is that better? You're still hot, aren't you? Yeah. Folks, you have to take charge of your life. You have to understand the disease process. If you don't understand the disease process, you might not be willing to do what it takes to change things. And I know how hard it is to make better choices. That's why I always advocate taking a solid food vacation. Remember, I have a playlist down below, especially for you new people. Look down in the description box. I have a playlist on how to take a solid food vacation, 2-hour seminar, so you can clean up this mess that's backing up into your tissues. Once again, folks, disease is not complicated unless you take the first step in the wrong direction. If you're looking for solutions on the shelf of a drugstore, you're not going to find any there. They don't belong there. There aren't there. There are no chemical solutions for lifestyle-related problems. Sinusitis, rhinitis, nasal polyps, those are lifestyle-related. Easy to get rid of. Very simple. All you have to do is clean up your mess. Stop making mistakes. Support your body in case it's damaged. For a lot of y'all, all you got to do is just stop eating the wrong food. But it's not a panacea. We have more than one need. Food is a big one. We got to get sunshine. We got to get exercise. We got to get sleep. We got to have positive thoughts, emotions. You have to have a supportive community. And that's what's killing a lot of us is we live in a sick world. We don't have a species to get connected to if we ever correct our own mistakes. So quite disappointing to feel more connected to the trees around you, even a mosquito pretty near, than it is a human. Although it makes you wonder what the heck those mosquitoes are here on this planet for, if not maybe to remind us this is hell. It really does make you wonder, doesn't it? My friends, we don't need to suffer. Most of our afflictions are self-inflicted. And that's really good news. We can change what we're doing and change what we get. And how do you start? It begins by taking responsibility. Check out my video, Healing Secrets Revealed. Understand the disease process. In the beginning, the body's trying to get rid of something that doesn't belong there. In most cases, it's our own waste matter. But it can be anything that doesn't belong there. Waste matter doesn't belong in us. We're supposed to get rid of it. And if it accumulates, that's going to be a problem. If dead cells accumulate, that's going to be a problem too. That's a virus. And that's going to cause a problem, but it's not something alive and attacking us. We've been bamboozled on this whole germ theory thing. And of course, the biggest problem every one of us has, we have way too many references that support a whole different belief system that pretty much convinces everyone, yep, it's contagious. There is a contagion element in diseases. I'm watching a plastic bag float away from me, but I know it's not going to get out of my sight. I'll be able to collect it later. I almost want to grab it now, but it won't go away. But there is a contagion element when you look at certain germs. There's bacteria everywhere on this planet that's designed to eat up garbage. Some of it doesn't belong inside of us, so if it does get inside of us, it's going to cause a problem. That's why we can have a short-term self-limited disease, like a food poisoning, for example. We'll get rid of that stuff immediately. Otherwise, if we keep eating the wrong food, we're going to damage our kidneys, our lymph system's not going to get cleaned. It's going to go above the saturation point. It's going to back up into the tissues. Where does it mainly go? The nose and sinus area. So you people who have nasal polyps, who have chronic rhinitis, your lymph system isn't getting filtered. Your kidneys probably aren't filtering either. Check out your urine. See if your kidneys are filtering. You might need to support your adrenals. The best place to start, take a solid food vacation. Make sure your bowels are moving, support those organs of elimination. Make sure your kidneys are working. In many cases, within a short period of time on a solid food vacation, the blood is getting cleaner, the lymph system is getting cleaner, the kidneys are getting cleaner, the adrenals are getting cleaner. And the body has a way of healing itself. But we can't do it if we keep making the same mistakes. We have to take responsibility, my friends. Disease just doesn't fall out of the sky. The tumor came around for a reason. That's what a polyp is. It's just a tumor. And that's at the last stage. There's 4 stages. First 2, the body's trying to get rid of it. That's with the inflammations and the ulcerations. Then if that doesn't work, it creates indurations, which is a scarring, a thickening of the tissues. Then the last stage, where it's trying to protect itself, is where it creates the tumors. The cysts, the fibroids, the nodules, the polyps. If you got nasal polyps, clipping them out doesn't remove the cause. You still have the chronic inflammation. And it doesn't matter what part of your body is inflamed, your blood is toxic, your lymph system is toxic, your whole body is toxic. It's a symptom of a bigger problem. You have a systemic problem. To solve every problem is a solution to all of the other problems, because you solve the problem on a systemic level. That's why you want to take a solid food vacation. That's why you want to look at the body holistically. And when you do, my friends, you're in for a treat.